Young man, what's your name?
Dathan.
Dathan. And your name is? Zebulon. What names? Dathan and Zebulon. Huh? Clifton. Oh, we got a little closer. These three men, I'm on my way out of town, and I want my wife and my children and my family to be secure while I'm gone. And so I go to my three friends, Dathan, Zebulon, Clifton. And I say, I'm going to give each of you $1,000 every week for 4 weeks. And all I want you to do is send my wife $100 a week, and you can keep 9. Bear with me for a moment. I give you 100, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. The first week, you give 100. You give 100, you give 300. The next week, you give 100, you give 50, you give 300. The next week, you give 100, you don't give nothing. You give 300. I come into town and I say, hey, everything's fine. I say, yeah. I said, what's your name?
Dathan.
Dathan. I said, did you get the money from Dathan? Yes, every week, right on time, Dathan gives me $100. Zebulon, the first week he gave me 100, the next week he gave me 50, the week after that he ain't gave me nothing. Clifton gave me, strangely enough, gave me $300 every week. So I go to Nate, and I said to you, appreciate you sending the funds, I appreciate that. And I go to you and I said, why did you send $300? You only had to send 100. He says to me, well, I took into consideration that what you gave me wasn't mine, and I didn't need all of it, and it belonged to someone, so I wanted to give what you asked me and super succeed your expectation of me. That's what I wanted to do. So I go to Zebulon. You gotta go all the way to Zebulon. I go to Zebulon, and I say to him, I said, the first week you sent 100, the next week you sent 50, and the last week you sent this. Well, first of all, Bishop, let me just share this with you. The first week I sent the money, all right? I don't see what the problem is. The second week I sent 50. But the last week you didn't send anything. Well, see, you don't understand. My cable bill was due, and I had other situations, and I had to y'all know I'm telling the truth. Now, why am I upset? I'm upset with the treatment of my friends when I trusted them to take care, to look out for my family because it's my wife. And when you mess with God's tithing, he's upset because the church is his wife. It is how she is supported. Final story, and I'm going to my seat. I want you to hear this. I used to be a drug dealer. That's what I was, until I became my best customer. I should have never tried the product. But in Brooklyn, New York, I learned the 3 P's and the D. Product, package, promotion, distribution. It is exactly how I run my ministry, the same way I operated when I was in the streets. And a lot of times the Lord will train you in Satan's kingdom to be powerful in his. That's why all you goody two-shoes who ain't never did nothing, don't nobody follow you. It's us that's been in the dirt. We come from the dirt, we're sustained by the dirt, and when we die, we're going back to the dirt. Look at your neighbor and say, hey, dirt. All right. In my business days, I was making $100,000 a week in Red Hook, Gowanus Projects, and Fort Greene. The business had gotten so big and so bad. It's 2 movies that they did. One was Straight Outta Brooklyn, the other one was New Jack City. That was both on the projects that we came out of. The business was it became so vast and so much money that we would have abandoned buildings and hire folks to watch the abandoned building. We go and drill a hole in the ground and pour concrete in it and make vaults to pour the money that we was pulling from the streets. That is the truth. Then we would get rats and put rats inside we would infest the buildings with rats, purchase rats, put rats inside the building and put nasty pieces of meat and food in there to keep the rats eating. So when people walking by, they would see rats and don't want to go into the building. We were hiding our investment. Now that's the truth. But I gave up that life and I gave my life to the Lord and I got saved and so on and so on. 4 months ago, And I'm a tither. I'm a chronic religious tither. And every time I want more money from God, I don't complain. I just raise my tithe. I pay the tithe on the amount that I want God to bring to me. And a high school dropout is speaking to you today, and last year I brought in $8 million from books and preaching and speaking and all that. I'm telling you that we're connected to kingdom economy, and the Lord sent me to this house today to tell you that your life is about to change. I wish I could get 50 people just to stand and turn. Your life is about to change, period. 4 months ago, a friend of mine, have your seats, 4 months ago, a friend of mine called me and says, Bloomer, I need to speak to you. Man, you've been doing some powerful things. Man, I ain't seen this guy in a long time. I said, man, I would love to see. How did you get my number? Oh, I'll hook up with someone today, gave me your number. I said, well, I'm in town today. Just drop by the church and see me. Man, I'd love to see you. He said, I got something for you. And he came to church, he had a knapsack on. He came to church clean, looking good. He says, the Lord laid it upon my heart to build your next church from the ground up for free. I said, whoa! I said, yeah. I said, but I ain't building no building. I don't feel like building. But I got my eye on a building that I would like. He said, how much? I said, $7 million. He said, well, the Lord laid it upon my heart, and I am going to get you the $7 million to build this place. I said, thank you, Jesus. You don't know what it feels like to have a Jesus high, you know. Yeah. He sat down. He said, but Blue, you got to do something for me. I said, what is it, man of God? What is it? He said, I got 4 months ago, I got $17 million that I need you to help me clean up. I said, huh? He said, yeah, I got $17 million. I need you to help me clean it up. So you want me to run some of this money. And I said, Doc, I can't do that. But let me be honest with you, Bishop. My leg was shaking up under the desk. I'm serious the whole time, and I'm just holding on to it. And he said, let me show you what I'm talking about. I pulled the knapsack off, zipped it open. He had $1 million cash in that bag. And I said, Doc, I'm out of that. I can't get myself involved in that. I don't want to do that. But under the desk, my leg was shaking. And then, so I looked at him, I said, but you could pay tithe on that. We do take tithe on it. I can't clean it up for you and turn nothing back to you, but you can give. You can tithe. And he said, well, no, but we talked, put the money back, and he left. Okay, now watch this. Some people say, and he came to me, and it didn't even move me, but then it wasn't temptation. Okay, you wonderful. See, that don't happen to me. I know when I'm tempted. Because when I'm tempted, I dream about it, and I want to do it, and I want to call and make plans. Y'all ain't hear what I said. I know how deep you are, but I'm telling you, I was tempted. And I'm shaking. I'm saying, I'm thinking to myself, and I'm thinking over it. $7 million, I can pay this thing off. The pressure would be off of me. And so I start finding scriptures in my mind. You're going to take the wealth of the unjust and lay it up for the righteous. You start telling yourself all kinds of stuff. But I didn't do it. 3 weeks later, and one of my young men is here. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. The whole city knows about it now. 3 weeks later, I'm in a staff meeting. One of my assistants come in and said, there's some people here that need to talk to you right now. I said, I'm in the staff meeting. He said, no, Bishop, you really need to come out and talk. I go outside. It's an FBI agent and a state trooper. They come to see me. They go into my office. Do you know this young man? Yes. When the last time you seen him? 3 weeks ago, a few days ago. He comes to talk to you? Yes. What did y'all talk about? Well, I'm not at liberty to tell you what we talked about because I'm a pastor, and it happened in this office. But what? Am I in trouble? Oh, no. We just want to take pictures of where the meeting went on at, and you can't. I said, no, I don't have any. I'm not having any discussions with you about. That was a member. He came to talk to me, and that was that. I knew that much. When you've been to jail as much as I am, you're. That's the problem. Most of y'all don't know your rights. And so I said to him, all right, so we're walking out. He shook my hand, gave me a card. He said, if you ever want to talk, give me a card, but there's something going on in the area, and blah, blah, blah. Your name came up. He walked off. The state trooper, she turned and she said, can I see you for a moment, Bishop Bloom? I said, yes. So we went on the side. She said, man of God, And when she said, I knew she was a believer. Gun on and everything. I said, all right. She said, man of God, she said, I am so proud of you. And I said, what? She said, I'm not supposed to tell you this, but you know, let me tell you something. That young man that was in your office, they got him out of jail, wired him, and set him in your office. So they know everything you talked about, everything you said. And she said, I was listening to the tapes, and I'm just telling you that I am so proud of you. How you talked to him, how you rebuked him, how you told him he needed to get, and she was just telling me everything that I said to him. She said, I'm so proud of you. And under my breath I was saying, God, I thank you so much, because I was definitely going to call him back to get that. You know, I won't build that church.